With eBay Refurbished, you have a choice of refurbished qualities to best fit your budget. Certified refurbished items are restored by the manufacturer to like new for up to 50% off. This drill was barely out of the box. Soon it will be back to working like new. Here's how it works. Every item is carefully inspected. Any imperfections are fixed by the manufacturer or manufacturer-approved vendor. Then it's tested to make sure it's working perfectly. Once it passes inspection, it's given the verified stamp of approval. Then repackaged with new accessories and shipped to its ultimate destination. With Certified Refurbished, you can shop with confidence because all our manufacturers go through a rigorous vetting process. And every purchase comes with an award-winning 2-year warranty, a money-back guarantee, and hassle-free returns. That's what makes it the smarter way to shop for premium brands. eBay Refurbished. Like new products, better than new prices.
I just saw these young whippersnappers, you know, struggling to stay awake on the desk. I wanted to show them how a real man brings the energy. That's all.
So, Miner, y'all gonna take them? hey, someone's got to have the energy. Maybe you can give that energy to these teams, all right? Because we're going to map 3. We're going to Ascent. I was actually, Tanner, we were talking about it when we were about halfway through that map, kind of which way we thought things were gonna go. Because G2, they had things tied up. They got a couple really good rounds, but then after that, it was just guard all the way.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all G2 once we saw the pistol round loss and then a huge clutch from Whippy. He had picked up somebody's Guardian, ends up winning the round just by spamming through some smoke. And that was when we were having that conversation. Bach and I were both like, well, we need to see the full buy to see kind of how this is going to play out for G2. And then that round happened, and it felt like G2 could do it. And then once the game got a little too close, Net and Valen got their hands back on it, and it was insane. Net's ability to read the aggression from G2, and then not only read it and leave, but read it and accept it so well. So many times they try and run down inside Garage, and he just wasn't having any of it.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of a false start coming in. We had this expectation coming into the second half. Again, let's see what they do. If their buy round looks good, we'll roll with it from there. They win that round. It's like, okay, here we go. And then, nope, never mind. Completely flattened. And then from then on, it really was the guard pretty much controlling the pace in the second half. They definitely looked really strong. Even in that final round, it got like kind of close, but not really. You know, it comes down to the 2v2 and then a 2v1 for Shazam as he has to retreat because there's a lockdown down, but he has to get ground between him and the site because even though he has Hunter's Fury, he can't use it to kill the lockdown because they'll chase him down and kill him. And if he does that anyway, he kills the lockdown, they're still going to plant. He's like, it's rock in a hard place situation. Either he uses the ult for the planter and tries to run, or he uses the ult for the lockdown and tries to fight. Either way, it's just not going to work out well for him. It was really good team play coming in from Guard, which is exactly what we've praised them for all this first split. You're seeing it there as well. Whippy, though, I mean, Tanner, Whippy played so good. Outside of even just that one clutch, like, so good from Whippy.
Yeah, it's so good and very aggressive on the Omen when they needed him to, finding multi-kills, but then eventually that just turned into round wins for the Guard. It was... I actually Googled it. I said, like, what do you call a hero that falls short? Because we were seeing the heroism work for the Guard, and we were seeing the heroism for G2, but it wasn't collecting the rounds. It wasn't connecting well enough. It was Oxy 3Ks when he needed 4. It was Whippy's 2Ks when he needed 3. They were just falling short in those rounds. And I mean, if you go back to look at the end of it, honestly, it felt like G2 were kind of running out of ideas and were a little done on the attacking side. It was an unfortunate spray down from Net, a 3K that happened inside Garage. The next round, they try and run at Net again, and he does the same exact thing. He kills the 2 players that are trying to crunch the C site. The C site is taken, 5v3, the Guard retaken, and then from there on out is basically flawless for the rest of the game, for the rest of the round. So G2 felt a little out of steam, and I don't blame them when sometimes things just weren't going their way.
Like, we watched the series against FaZe, and it did feel like G2 was kind of clunky on this map, but in that moment, that was Oxy's time to shine. He was always stepping up and closing out rounds. But what do we say the Guard did coming into the mid-season face-off better than any other team? They shut down duelists, and they do it well. They've done it to players like Koalanoob, and now they're doing it here as well to Oxy. He has a pretty rough map performance there on Haven. Again, this is a map that not that long ago, he was putting in some serious work. That's exactly what they needed to do. That was their win con for me if they were going to take Haven. So now we move to Ascent, Sierra, and I feel like we were saying it. This is like super even territory for everybody.
Yeah, this is honestly I think the best case scenario for a lot of people, including just us and the viewers, to be able to see both of these teams really be able to come alive, prove their case on why they should be playing up against M80 tomorrow, why they should be going into the grand finals. Both of these teams, if not mistaken, are undefeated on Ascent. So this is where, for these teams, they're really going to be able to prove once and for all, this is what it takes. I'm just worried that G2, it's been a long day. They just took that loss, that they could just be out of that steam.
Yeah, I think that could definitely be a factor for G2, but you also have to think, right, at the very end of it all, this could be your very last map. And whether you win or lose, obviously losing feels horrible, there is going to be some respite, right? You're going to have that rest. So I think G2 can come into this one and give it everything they got, because at the end of the day, it's not as late as the day as yesterday. They're going to have a bit of time. And they also, in map 3 against Oxygen, in a series that started very shaky, down but not out, that's what G2 did, and they played Ascent so incredibly well.
I think the one good thing is like the way the sides are starting out. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be G2 on the defense to start out here on Ascent. And if I remember correctly, Guard's attack on this map is not super strong. It's not to say it's weak, but G2's defense is kind of weak, so it kind of helps them a little bit to get the ball rolling early at least. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about where this one goes. I do think the results that we've seen from the Guard look potentially a little bit better than what we've seen from G2. You look at the teams they've been beating and how they've been beating them, holding teams to single digits throughout the first split, even coming into the mid-season face-off, whereas you had that very close game with FaZe just recently for G2 where it went into multiple overtimes, plus games earlier on that were in double digits with both teams. I kind of give the slight nod to the Guard, especially coming off of a map 2 victory. Maybe like we talked about it earlier today, the momentum will just carry over into map 3.
Well, G2 were able to do it earlier on in the day, managed to take it and win to be moving on. We'll have to see if they can do it again here as our match is ready. It's time to head over to Amine and Sully.
M80, man, they are patiently waiting to see who is going to be the one to take them on the grand finals. It is a third and final map between two Goliaths here in Challengers, Guard and G2. Map number 3, it's Ascent. It's a map that the Guard are currently 4-0 on. Just beat FaZe Clan the other day, and now they've got to do it again to G2, who come off a heartbreaking Haven loss.
On this map, we've seen wins from the Guard over M80, Disguised, FaZe Clan. G2, they are also perfect on this map. There is no better way to close out this best of 3 between these two teams than on a map where these two teams are on paper flawless.
And G2 just had to play this map of Ascent. They just had to play Split as well for a second time. And a third map decider against Oxygen and went 13-11. And the day before that, they played against FaZe Clan, 18-16. It's been nothing but close matchups on this map of Ascent for G2. And for the Guard, it's been stomps. 13-9 versus FaZe, 13-8 versus M80, 13-9 versus Mad Lions, and 13-5 against Disguise. All in the span of these last 2 months. And G2, they know that their work is cut out for them. This is a Guard that looked pristine coming into this series, look pristine on map 2. And here on map 3, G2 exceeding all expectations. The third seed coming into the mid-season face-off in the top 3 are trying to play spoiler to the Guard M80 rematch, and they start on the defending side, and it's Guard that put the heavy contest here towards B, and Oxy's one to receive.
Oxy's been that guy all season. Can he start it off right? Fireworks to start off our Last map here in the loser side, but Oxy, he still wants a whole lot more.
Backs away. At least Tex backs away. An instant 4 versus 5. And they will rework their way towards Catwalk. There's nobody here from G2 looking to play this area, but they have a Nanostorm that will help them. The Gravel not going to keep them in it. Dapper still with another Nanostorm to play with, a 3-man hold now on the A site.
This coverage is just so dangerous. One person still in the back of sight, but someone in heaven is already wide swinging. Dapper. What? Was that an accident? I don't know what just happened. Were they trying to make their way through? They trapped 2 of their own players. One person goes into Cat.
And it's clean from G2 in this pistol round. They needed a clean reset, I feel, going into this next map. It wasn't the best showing from those players individually on that second map that we just saw. A lot of scary moments from Oxy, who I felt wasn't getting into as many fights as he should have been winning. A lot of opting opportunity and anchor points, but still not the statistical prowess that we know from Oxy. So he starts us off with 2 kills, and the guard. We're looking at Net and Trent, who have been 2 consistent fraggers throughout this entire series. They're on a revengeance tour to try push themselves to the finals here. As they were touted again, Gus, they were one of the best teams coming in challengers, and everyone looked at this team, the Tarek and Lugger Invitational, and the Scrimbuck said, hey, guard win it all, man. Guard win it all.
Even though this team has been perfect on Haven so far this season, they only have 1 winning attack side. That was against Mad Lions. The guard aren't exactly historically in the best place to be able to succeed in this first half, if anything.
Yeah.
Again, G2, we've seen Dapper be able to pop off Whippy, Shazam on the defensive side so much today. At this point, this is just the right start to keep up that mentality.
It's about G2 getting a good defensive start here. A good defensive first half. And it would be nice to start off with a 2-0. I think it will end in a 2-0 with 5 HP for Jonah P. And the bonus up next. Rifles will be collected here. Yep, Spectre gets dropped. Okay, no. Oh, he does pick it up. All right. They will walk away with 3 weapons. A nice bonus coming in for G2 into this next round as the guard. 4 rifles picked up, and not a single player working over towards A. But they do have some contention towards mid. We know the guard like to play a little bit more slow and working map control, trying to get picks onto G2. That's the theme that's been on their attacking side for the last 2 maps that we've seen, and so it will continue here on Ascent.
G2, they're already kind of closing down a bit of that space.
So early here, I just realized.
He's already up in mid.
He's going to get smoked off, but it looks like G2 are trying to funnel this play over towards Catwalk, where Knife goes towards A main, sees nothing. Whippy sees nothing, and Oxy repivots back towards Catwalk where they think the hit's going to happen.
The turret, again, is going to get spotted by the Owl Drum, but the peek does come out from Dapper to try to deny it. There immediately already is a paranoia alongside the smoke. Tax just lining on in. No worries about anyone that could be logs. Tax looking to fight Penny. Penny caught with his pants down. There's still 2 people in the back of sight, but the guard are completely evading them. What an idea here from the guard.
And they're wrapping towards the A site of all places. It's such a risk because you don't know who's there, where they could be as well. Whippy. We hear the footsteps, and now they know they've got a contest with Whippy. Shazam in rotation, but Net plays Lurk. He plays the spoiler to these rotations. And Whippy can't fight. Guard get the plant down, and they will have a solid post plant with Trent already in position to play shocks.
Well, there's your innovators. The guard. Again, they made themselves known for their creativity. A completely unknown roster going into 2022. By the very end of it, had international experience, wins against every North American team. In this round, we were certain that a B hit was going to happen, but instead they used B as their path to A. There's a beautiful pre-round call, but I don't know how many of those G2 can really take.
They will hold on to the operator, so we're going to see the next round with Oxy in his hand again. He was influential on Haven with establishing map control with the operator. We didn't see it too much on Split, but on Haven, you could definitely see the impact he had on G2's defending side. The map control he established for them. And it will be a recurring theme here. But not this round. Oh, never mind. It is going to be this. I thought it was going to be nice for a second. Let Whippy play with the opper. But no. early or very early timeout getting called here, and I'm curious as to why. I think maybe they see a really big gap in their mid play, which is something that Oxygen exploited as well in their series. The fast B splits did give Oxygen a couple of rounds here or there, and so I think G2 are trying to solve that issue here as well now, maybe.
It's just tough to even think about what they're trying to fix. It's so
Right.
early into the game.
And I feel like maybe the call here is to remove that alarm bot and have an actual body there to fight. Like put one market,
Yeah.
one towards like top or bottom mid with Oxy and the operator. That would commit
That's
3
what they were
players towards
doing.
the B side and just put 2 players in A. That could work. But again, mid is kind of this weird contentious spot, I feel, for G2. And it's going to be, I think, key to figure out those mistakes and the issues now, as soon as you can, so they don't kind of continue to pop up throughout this first half where, you know, Guard are very solid in their defense, Gus, and so
Yeah.
one of the main contingencies of winning this map in this series is you have to have a good defensive start.
Actually, we talked about how fluid he was on the defensive side earlier on Ascent. That's mainly just going to come down to his off positioning. However, if he can impose his will early on and actually getting some of those first picks, it's always going to lead the Guard into respecting these choke points. Always utilizing util to even make their way in.
They split backing out towards A. The smoke goes down towards mid, so that's going to call it an instant rotate for Shazam to work in towards Garden. But who's here to respond from G2? 3 players now, but Shazam might get cut out of the fight early on as Whippy has to deal with the players pushing.
Huge first frag. Tex is going for the trade, and indeed he gets it. But again, 17 HP. It could be the Shazam show. Shazam with a double. Could he get a triple? No, it's Penny. Penny going big. Double kill for Penny. Net in a 1v3. Again, we've seen Net do this before, but Penny. Unreal play from Penny. A triple when he was isolated on site.
Guns him down from the side, and G2, I love this hold. You're putting a player towards mid with an alarm bot. And as soon as his smoke goes down towards Link, and we've seen 2 variations of this play from the Guard where they'll actually push through the smoke, or this time around they will go towards Catwalk. This time they went towards Cat, and Shazam got really good time in this rotate. Was here to influence the fight, pull attention away so Whippy didn't get cleared, and he wins his first gunfight, setting Penny up for success in the rest of the round. Guard in this eco. It's Tex to play with the knives here. And they don't immediately push into the A site, but that seems to be the key thing here with Jonah P and his ultimate.
The knife to scale their way up. Again. No one's gonna come up from Cat. The turret is down, but no other KJ util is here. This grab well is gonna be so huge for Whippy. Gonna have to manage it. Double kill coming out from Whippy, but one of them was onto the KO ulti. Net, technically in a 1v3, might have an opportunity for a revive, but that is way too tough with a double swing out from Heaven. Good stuff at least now for G2. It was against the pistols of the Guard. The next round is just even bigger though. G2 starting to mount.
Ult's coming to fruition as well. Dapper with his lockdown. Net with his own as well. Gonna set Oxy up again in position to try and win out this duel against Net. Garter's scrambling on this default. Trying to set themselves up. Where do they want to get control? Are they going to try and force Oxy off the angle? Doesn't look like it, as he should win this fight. No, Net up close wins the fight, and that's going to be a heavy hit here because G2 have to reinvest players now.
Shazam going in, try to fight against the guy who just beat an Opper. Old.
That's going to be the lockdown as well for Net here. He can rework back towards A and pop that one as well.
They don't spot the KJ though. Easily think I could be going back towards that mid side. And indeed, you do see that hard reposition. The KJ is going to replay back over towards Market to try to play with the alarm bot.
Oh, this is tough though, because if this exit comes through, yeah, okay, smart for Shazam to play back towards Spawn, because he was going to have to backpedal into sight given his stair position, and that would have forced him to be isolated on site here. KJ util gets slowed down as well. Now comes the hit. Where's the lockdown? Is it going to get used? It doesn't look like it for now.
Oh.
There it is, finally. No chance to slow this push down either. One nanostorm gets broken. Shazam trying to delay as best he can, but it's almost inevitable Guard get out here.
Again, it's going to take a minute. Dapper Still gonna have the cross after the smoke dissipates. Big kill from Dap. Oh my goodness, that was on sight from Valen. Huge shot from Valen. Still a man advantage from the guard off of that insane shot.
Whippy's gonna have the Cosmic Divide. I thought for a second he stuck that Valley, but no, he doesn't. Spots 2 players, and that will give Net first line of sight. The
what a
first
peek.
contact, he swings with the Cosmic Divide. Does he go out through it? No, he doesn't. Instead, it's a clear here for Penny.
Equalizes it 3v3. Now all 3 players isolated on site, but Tex pushes it down. G2 had no chance.
And a phenomenal fight from him as well. An instant response to the pressure in towards B main. And I love that fight, because you know when Penny goes for a swing onto Net and B main, it's an instant man advantage on site, and you fight through it despite losing a man in the process.
30 seconds left.
And this is G2 on the back foot now, as the guard starting to mount pressure and momentum, now resetting almost G2 fully. That would be this round if they win it. And this Blade Storm's gonna give them an opportunity to get aggressive as well, of all things. Oh my, Oxy, you can't break that.
Not with the Blade Storm, at least.
Net. You certainly can fight that here.
Net gets spotted. Turret is gonna spot him. Oxy can push with it. Net. And he already took down the Opper. Oxy, he feels that pressure. The play over towards mid is still happening. But this 1v1 is massive.
Oh, look at what is going on here with Trent. Kill there for Oxy. They're gonna work in towards Garden. The maintain of control here is for this lockdown. Dapper gonna delay as best he can. A lovely set of util. Oh, not a lot of space there for Tex to work with. He dashes on in. He gets into sight here, and a Hunter's 3 as well to commit to protecting the lockdown play.
No one getting hit by it, but the lockdown coming in at a good time. There's nothing here for the guard for them to try to stop it, except for a good spot. Jonah P just so happens to be deeper up, and Cat Penny does take down Tex. That was such an important position for Tex. Valen does take one back, at least leaving 4 on the board here for G2. Hunter's Theory still alive for Trent.
Nope,
it's all going to come down to Valen.
Gone with the null command, so there's no post-fight util.
Oh, Trent does get one through the smoke, but Oxy immediately takes down Valen. Valen needed at least one to really make this possible, but now Trent isolated. Players flying so many pixels in front of him. No uniform one to aim at. 5-2, G2. They bounce back on the round that they so desperately needed.
Commitment to holding down that lockdown, G2, and it doesn't ultimately get them the space that they wanted, but it commits players outside of the site. One player pushed towards 7 for the side of the guard, and I think it was Jonah P that was stuck fighting in towards Garden for that lockdown. And those players are caught out in the open, caught hanging. And that's where G2 find those picks to make the retake a lot more easy in their favor. That will reset the guard here instead, forcing just a hero rifle from Valen now.
Oxy does see the turret. At least hears it for now. Back over towards that mid side. But again, we've seen G2 be able to capitalize in these types of rounds with the Sheriffs. Not so much the guard. And that's just because the guard has almost always been on the front foot in this game, in this set. Tanner said it earlier. G2, the epitome of down but not out.
Shazam will shoot this shock dart as soon as the turret rings out something. And it's going to be a lot of damage. Only 4 of these players actually have, I was going to say none of them have armor, but they don't have heavy armor. And Oxy's looking for the mid-rotate, doesn't see anything, doesn't spot anything. He will get smoked off, so it's going to lock him into the smoke, but he's getting info, and there's still a player towards Cat, so they effectively still know this is going to be a B hit.
And once that smoke goes down in mid, it's still almost going to be fully known. 30 seconds left.
30
Nice
seconds
knife
left.
as well. Just full cleared catwalk.
Yep. It's waiting for that
Expected
one.
now to be a B hit. And you can see already Oxy beginning to pivot back towards the B site now.
Nano's just going to keep delaying.
Very well timed. A good nano as well. So much time being bought here. Swinging on in is Oxy for 1. 2 players in the back site, Gus.
I mean, I don't even think those players need to do anything. Oxy pops up and he gets yet another 3. G2, that was just another part of the process, though. We were looking at Sheriffs from the guard. Big round coming up once again. The loss bonus isn't fully there.
Oxy on the op here as well now. Is he gonna switch up the offensive spot? Because he's been playing another random kill. All right, then. Just watch that one back.
Sure.
Where does Oxy go in this op? He takes it towards mid once more. We've seen him only on B and mid this time. So no switch up. Tex is gonna pull one out himself to try and combat. See how this one fares for him. I was skeptical on both the attacking ops that he pulled out, but he's found quite the success with it. And I think the way G2 are playing, I like the opping position he set up in, because it's been a lot of aggression towards B, maybe expecting a switch up and a push towards A. So he tries to welcome it with the op. Nobody there this time around, and G2 are a lot smarter. They switched up their opping decisions and where they want to get map control.
It just is funny to see that call out, because we've never seen an A push from G2. Tex holds on to the position, but he pushes up. He gets one opportunity at a frag, and he gets it.
Penny will slow down the catwalk play, but this could redirect very easily back to mid. And it looks like that's what's going down here. Valen pressuring it, just Trent teasing the players over towards A. And now Shazam is going to get caught out here. He's the only player, and cut down again by the operator. No one here on the B site to receive it. Dapper tries to catch players crossing. This is the guard taking B site control. You might want to call save if you're G2, unless you get a pick here fast.
Again, just totally uncharacteristic in general, though, from the guard. There's no way that you expect the attacking up on the A side alone, waiting for a pick.
Bro, what from Tex? All right, then.
Why not keep going?
A little bit more as well. He wants the ace for sure now. And G2, I mean, you can't really pick up the op here. You still have money to make the retake happen. Oxy, though, might be hard-pressed to get a buy. So I think at least one of these guys needs to stay alive. And if anything, I would say play for the egg.
There you go.
Just not happening against Tex.
Solid ace from Tex. All 5 of them coming individually. But again, downing it at the beginning of this tournament. Not so much now. The attacking op, at least going to be in the right position, or at least you know that the rest of this team is playing around the pace.
He looks so clean doing it. I think that was 5 shots, by the way. And 5 kills. Bro makes it look easy with his steez. G2 will have another buy. Oxy gets dropped over a rifle. 3 rounds left here in the half, and Oxy, again, looking to get aggressive towards B. And I think the thing here for G2 is they kind of have to recognize where this op is going to be and how it's going to change this third map. Because it did change a lot on Haven. Oxy wasn't as confident swinging in towards sewers that we saw, and now he's not going to be as confident swinging into these main extremities.
I mean, you saw that caution. He absolutely needed a second person behind him for that trade potential. Dapper going down. Whippy has to do it all. Will the Owl Drone spot him? I think it's just going to isolate the position, but here comes Whippy. Whippy can't do anything with it, even with the flash from Pony. Penny. Penny's not going to swing.
Oh my god, Oxy with a trade.
Amazing reaction.
Tex to get aggressive.
2v4 still.
Trent gets the spike down. He's going to at least have the Hunter 3 to play with if that's a contingency, but G2 instantly back away. Nice trade from Oxy, but it's really not for much as Tex gets aggressive and punishing those players, ending any sort of hope for a retake to happen.
Again, G2 only had the one person in the back of sight off of that one pick, but it's not like they had the wrong options. The KJ util looked dangerous. Dapper just goes down out of nowhere to Valen. Such a big pick for Valen to get.
Six to 4. It was crucial that G2 got a strong start on the defense. They've at least guaranteed the 6-6. But a little bit more would be very helpful and a big confidence boost to these remaining players. As the guard up, protects once more. Much lighter buy this time from G2.
Look at this hold over towards B. Shifting up once again. We've already seen the KJ util here, but usually it's actually Oxy right behind it to peek with it. They're only going to utilize the Sova. Oxy instead going mid.
Valen, I think, is just going to play alert because he can TP into the back site. Shazam. Oh, don't be... The ulti angle, he might go down. Gets spotted by the knife, and he tries to swing, and that's just death waiting with open arms there.
You know, an attacking op is around too.
And it's just so scary. Tries to swing it, thinks he can best him there, but he can't. Backs away is Dapper, but he's already been tagged. There's just no chance to entry. Looks exceptionally clean from these guys. Yeah, Valen TPing with the rest of his team. These last two players will be looking to just kamikaze into the site. Take any players down that they can. It's 6-5. The Guard have brought this one back in a pretty decent manner. This is kind of how Haven was for G2, and we ended 6-6 as well.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't need that dramatic comeback at the end or in the middle of that second half from the other team pushing it back. But G2, again, have been in this position before. They're attacking Ascent. Is where Oxy can truly spread his wings.
Okay, a couple of exits, but it's really nothing damaging. And he might hold on to the rifle, but that's really all we're going to see here from G2. Exits mean nothing when the money is just stocking up for the Guard in this final round. It's just charging up the ults, which would be nice. He's one away now from the KO ultimate. But 6-5, the Guard, one round away from tying this series, or this half up, apologies. And it's an op for both sides. Oxy and Tex, that duel that we've been waiting to happen, both leading their teams. And Oxy, I think, has had the shorter end of the stick when it comes to the opping prowess in this half, as Tex has just been lights out so far with this attacking op.
Again, somehow, the attacking op, you have to be so fluid. Every reaction is a snap when you're on this side. Nobody's going to be peeking him back over towards B main. Knife is pushing players back to mid.
Smart man here. Expected the updraft from Oxy, but Oxy's on the opposite side of the map. So no clash yet. Lockdown here for Net. Hunter's Fury for Trent to boot. No ultimates here for G2, by the way, to cancel these out. So it's a full ult round here. And the Guard have walked all the way up towards B main. Pop the ultimate. And now, how do they respond? Dapper backs away. Turret not spotting. When did the swarms get popped? There's an alarm bot there to help them.
And Nanos actually get popped a bit late too. Good timing. But Valen is still safe into sight. Dapper through the smoke, snagging down Trent. The Guard now down to 4. The Paranoia might line up 3 here, but G2 very cautious and rotating.
And that's a Hunter's Fury gone as well for Trent. So Oxy, or apologies, Tex playing with the op. Where's the duel by Oxy as well? Watching the swing, Tex doesn't miss those.
Big shot, but Tex has to do a whole lot more. Through the smoke, Penny takes him down. G2, man advantage, swarming into sight. Valen's in the middle of the smoke. He's done so much damage in this type of position before, but he's done immediately. G2 sweep the site clean. 7-5 going into the next half. There you go, G2.
A fluid retake at that. Spam catching one, instant trade on a Tex as he tries to get out through the smoke. Great recognition from G2 as to what he was trying to do. And the Guard wanted the 6-6. We are 7-5.
Down A. One enemy.
And in this next half, it's expectations on expectations. Tex and Oxy, that head-to-head duel that we've been starving and craving for, is being delivered. Both leading their teams and both having amazing individual moments in this series. Oxy back to form here. When his team needs it most, he steps up. And the first half was all between the two of them. The pistol for G2 would get them a lot of momentum to start off this second half. As the Guard, we know this is their better side, and the Guard, this round here could even things up very, very quickly.
They already start off with that pressure too. Back in A main, G2 might already be forced to use utility. It's a good knife lineup though. With the Guard though, they had 3 players in mid. That leaves such a fluid rotation.
Dex, top here with the Sheriff. Everyone on G2 begins to backpedal towards where Dapper is. The back door, if you will. They did this multiple times versus Oxygen. I don't know if the Guard watched that map, but they're going to see here in a second what they want to do. Contact made though by Dapper. He's going to try and clear that close angle so his team can make a clean entry. Swarm gets broken actually, and same with the turret by the 1 nanostorm of Dabber. So it clears the angle, removes any util, and only 1 player here to receive. The guard are just going to play the retake here, it looks like.
No contact in mid either. At this point, the guard purely relying on just the eyes of net. G2 able to slip bomb through, but again, they know the mid shouldn't be taken up. At least it's safe for now. Most players should be on site.
2 flashes, Paranoia, and the flash drive goes through with the recon bolt as well. They clear out the middle of the site, and they're getting team fights onto single players. Trent as well with one with a shock.
All of the flashes are gone, though. All of the util period is gone for the guard. Here comes Dapper, only able to get 1, but the 2 players back on site, now looking to go big. Hiding in the back. Whippy able to get 1. Whippy dancing. You still have Shazam right next to him. Whippy down to 19. Shazam! Lightning fast! Shazam takes down all of them!
Where does that come from Shazam in the back of Boathouse? He finds 3, essentially clutching out the round when the guard play that's so systematically perfect. Just moving as a unit to clear out the site, to clear out every single angle. But heroics from Shazam as players fall into his lap from lane. And that gives G2 8-5 now. Shazam coming to life here. That's 3 kills. By the way, that means he only had 2 kills in the first half because he's at 5 right now. And that's one way to get yourself going in the second half.
Gosh, what do the guard even try to focus up on for the second half? Because again, the way that G2 played things out on their ascent is quite methodical. The rotations were quite often, but again, the guard were the ones with the most creativity. Are they going to keep getting that early recon, that early map info into A main, into B main?
Look at that. Turret breaks and 4 players rotate from the guard.
G2 depends on patience and discipline. The guard are giving them all of this space.
They're taking it towards B main. They shift even back towards the A side. Farming orbs now for Shazam as well, who's the closest to getting his ult online. It's a retake again for the guard. Kamikaze effort, if you will.
That just goes right out dry. Oh, 2?
Down B. Revealing area. 30
How does he get
left.
2 there? Net catches them all, but you still have Trent waiting for that smoke to go down. Should be dissipating.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all, because those are 2 very easily recoverable guns.
It's going to be 2 guns. 3 players corralled.
No, never mind. It's actually no guns, because all the Vandals are still alive. I forgot. They only invested 3.
3 players on site. Here comes the shots from Shazam. Shazam waiting for the drop. Nobody from the guard able to go on. No smokes. It's just an easy crossfire for G2. It doesn't matter if they have the man advantage. It doesn't matter if they have space. At least G2 had the rifles. Again, swipe off the sweat off their foreheads. Should be a 9th, but that's where the guard can come up big.
9-5 G2. Holding onto their 3 rifles. And now is the time for players on the guard to come alive. Tex has been influential. Net and Trent were both on a mission the last 2 maps. Trent is just a shadow of what we saw him on map 1. At like 27 kills. Here he sits with 3 on the half. It's been the Trent, or apologies, Tex and Oxy show. It was Trent and Net earlier.
Yeah.
But at 9-5, these rounds matter. Guard have had a much better defensive side. So there's high expectations now with the rifles out. And we expect to see those kills just start to pick up for the guard. For Trent in particular.
This is big for Tex over in mid. Getting pressured out as G2 take up that full control. 3-4 players heading his direction. Smoke already up.
Oh, Trent!
Trent is gonna get a double here. Huge from Trent. Net now trying to hold it down. Trent going big again.
It's like I literally called his name. I said Trent only with 3 kills, and he gets 3 again to double it. And the guard. 9-6. Off of a huge recon dart play, by the way, from Trent. I mean, this was just Trent mowing them down. Like, there's really no question. I think maybe if you're G2, you should have expected something like that. But still, Trent goes huge with that Odin. And it's such a key figure on a map like Ascent as well. buyback here for G2. Hunter's Fury to play with, and there's a very heavy lean towards A. But again, keep in mind, with Dapper playing towards B, we always see G2 take a step back and assess, hey, what space does Dapper have? Can we rotate out?
Contact doesn't see anything. Back over in A main. I think Dapper might be a little more willing to make some noise over on B, and that's exactly what he did. He ticks off the turret. Gonna go back over towards the mid side to potentially get a double contact with a Jet in top mid. But G2 right now is working the entire map right now with barely any contacts.
Gonna walk up here towards Cat. Dart cleared out this bottom arch mid. I think a knife just got chucked from Jonah P.
Yeah, Jonah's all the way back.
Never mind. Oh yeah, the knife did just get chucked and it catches 2 players, both Shazam and Penny. There's still no info here towards Cat. That's where the hit comes. Oxy trying to get into sight now. It's Tex alongside Valen in the back sight, and here comes the players.
Tex is just gonna hold the back of his Omen. There goes Valen. Valen just needs to hold on. What a beautiful, beautiful hold. The dynamic duo in the back. Valen did not need to worry about Jenny. He had more than enough support.
Not a chance in the world for G2 on this exec. Look at Valen and Tex. The angles that they're fighting are perfect because Dice is protecting Valen from anyone A main. So him working alongside the rest of his team to isolate the Jenny fight and then together swinging to main. It is systematic. It's almost like it's one player controlling 5. Resetting G2. Sheriff 5. And the G2 laws, they've got a chance to always win the Sheriff rounds. We'll see if they can do it here.
It's tough to always give that sort of reason, but again, time after time, they keep proving us wrong. But G2, even on a pistol round, they are willing to kind of play a bit of a lurk, play that push and pull.
Tex here with mid. He broke the early util towards B, committing players there.
Nice.
Oh god, Tex. Just off the ADS as well is gonna find him.
Still looking for a whole lot more, double.
A lot of info as well now, yeah. So G2, man, disadvantage. Tex looking for the info. Trent, yep. Paper thin walls on this map, so the Odin is just, you gotta be careful of that. I think for the rest of the map, you have to be careful. Trent's presence with that Odin.
It's crazy you say that, by the way. Dapper's been sort of the nerd in the last few weeks in terms of wall bangs. Trent, he's proving it now. Yet another one. This time with no info.
Looking for more as well in case anyone got out to switch. Last 3 players, Whippy's trying to get some kind of lurk. Maybe he gets a kill, picks up a rifle, but yeah, 15 seconds left. I'm doubting, to be honest, and I will be proven right. It's the guard, 8 to 9, closing the distance within 1. Now ult's coming forward. Trent's got his Hunter's Fury. He's found a multitude of kills on this Odin already. And now it's up to G2 to find a response here in this next round. They will have the rifles in their hand, but it's contingent that they win. The loss here resets some, guard takes the lead, and G2 have to try and cut the blood flow of momentum from the guard, snipping the wire. It's this robust, robotic guard continue to march their way forward to this scoreline of 13.
Valen as per usual. Front side. Waiting for the contact. The lineup does get him. That doesn't worry him at all. Could easily be back over towards Wine.
Penny on the ult here now.
Back in main.
Hold up. 3 ultimates lined up here. Penny could pop this lockdown, or apologies, Dapper could pop the lockdown to make the exit happen.
Take flight.
Shazam out towards mid. I think this is to pull players towards Garden. I like this from Shazam. And it does do exactly that. And you can see the Garter has shifted their util here towards Garden as well, especially with net stuff. Shock Dart breaks the 1 Nanoswarm. So now they have to kind of double up here now. That drone signifying a hit there. And they're relying on that turret and Nanoswarm to be the protectors of A, but Tex is the protector of mid.
Always well timed. But G2, they are still taking that space. Will it be the counter smoke? Will it be any sort of counter util front Valen. Valen does finally pull out of smoke in the middle of main. G2 running out of space, but it's still 2 in the back of sight for the guard. Nobody's actually holding outside. Valen, how does he get that kill though? Penny goes down through the smoke. They're still trying to make their way through, and even another one. Valen gets 2 kills through the smoke on the same player. 3v3 though. Lockdown finally going in. Trent holds on again. 15 seconds left. The lockdown is gone, and Whippy, he's been making this flank the entire time. No time remaining. The guard have the 9th.
And another hold. Another successful one from the guard. And it's 2 players I feel like that are making the difference. It's Tex and Trent. Tex finds the first kill. And a lot of ultimates. A lot of ultimates invested in this round from G2. Hunter Suri locked on and the Null Command. A lot of big players coming out in that round. And now the guard at 9-9. It's a timeout called here by G2, presumably. Yeah, it is. Try and figure out how they get back into this. Tex is a man on a mission. Oxy's kind of faded off a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Hasn't put up the best numbers. Tex has got 5 in this half. Oxy hasn't found anything yet in this second half. And it is always the attacking side where we see him on the favorable side where he is good at getting entries. But this time around, he's getting shut down by 2 key things. Trent and his Odin, and Tex and his Operator.
It's on this side that you expect Oxy. An average of 4 first kills on the attack side. But again, if you're Tex, he keeps exploiting just one angle every single round. It's the same fluidity that we talked about Oxy, and Trent is enacting that right now. I mean, that's just classic Jet play really on this map at this point. G2 are falling victim to it almost every single time. They are patient in making their run up, but that just gives more time for the op to just be in a better spot.
Ooh, Trent's changed up his position here with the Odin. What's he got cooking up for us? I don't think the Hunter Series is going to get used. Definitely not. He catches all 3 players, by the way, as well. Very nice knife there from Penny. That will accelerate this push towards mid after catching 3 players there. They know they want to hit the B side here. Alarm bot's a little bit closer, so it does spot them out, and now it's up to them to accelerate. But of course, Tex lands that kind of shot.
Tex with a big one, net. Some rare misses, but still ends up getting a kill. The man in the back, there's gonna be 2, potentially no. Valen TP's away. It's only Tex. Tex looking for a few here. Gonna line up one over towards Shohor!
Penny!
Never mind!
A huge shot to shut down Tex in the backside. And Trent couldn't get his Hunter's Fury out.
Hunter's Fury.
He is, but where can he find? He got a tag, but he's not getting anything else off the Hunter's Fury. No kills, no tags, no damage. Shazam has picked up the op here.
Huge spot for Whippy. Whippy waiting for the contact, waiting for that swing out. Jonah P has been waiting the whole time. No, this spot for Whippy is so dangerous. Could get wall banged. Walls made out of paper mache. Shazam does indeed have the op though. Looking for that one-shot kill potential. Oh, Valen, what a TP. But it all has to be on Shazam. 45 HP, looking for a headshot onto Jonah. The spray from Trent, however, does it all. And the defuse will go down for the lead for the guard.
And guard taking back control of this game. Scrappy, very nice entries there from G2, and I like the gameplay. They recognize the 3-player aggression over towards A, and they say, let's just pivot, go towards B. We know it's the weaker site, and it nearly works out. But it's cautious here from the guard on this retake. Valen, that TP is heroic. Gets all the way across, and the nade and the pressure that they put on Shazam in the backside so that his op is kind of useless. Gives the guard the space to make the retake happen. And look at this. 5-man hit towards the A site.
It's going to be...
one person has the big gun to try and receive them.
It's going to be Blade Storm versus Op. Oxy waiting. Tex still has the dash. The knife doesn't connect. It is Tex instead to stay sharp. Penny swings out immediately, taking him down. And how does Whippy get another one?
A gravel got sent into that one. Catching both those players trying to rotate out.
Oh, what is this from Jonah?
He slinks back in towards A, but he's got... I don't like this. I don't know if I like this.
He's gonna have to solo hold A essentially from here.
Yeah, he's got no backdoor, no way to get out except for a flash to try and cross. And look at G2. They start to pivot back towards B. And Net with the timing begins to peel away.
Hey, he's just gonna stay around, at least close enough for his util to still be in radius.
Yeah, he will have the turret and the nanostormers, but he's not in a position to fight. His lockdown is kind of useless here on this retake. And I think if you're G2, your best bet is to hit the B side because it's so hard to get an effective lockdown on this defending side towards B.
Scanning ahead.
30 seconds left, though. These nanos might have the effect they want. Oh my goodness, now what a shot. An even better shot from Dapper. Right through the wall, beaming him away. Man advantage for G2 going into the post plant. No ultis on the board. Whole lot of util for the guards still. Oh, wow.
Nice shot. Doesn't finish him off, though. Trent
Oh my
is
God.
going to finish him off with this Odin. Bro, there's a flank, though. And I don't think they realize it as well. I'm looking at this minimap, but I'm seeing Dapper start to heat up. It's about timing here, though. He's far from the fight.
They're gonna
How
go through.
quick can he get here? Because that's a great entry.
He's gonna
Gives
get called
Trent an
out.
opportunity. But the door's closed. The door's actually closed. So his flank is
Who did that?
spotted out of here. And Trent, of course it has to be Trent. He knows what side he's on. It's paper mache. He wants to spam. Trent changes guns. Knows what he has to do here. Can the spam work?
He's
Dapper's
off
missing,
angle.
Dapper's missing. Dapper's missing.
Trent
He's
pulled the
gotta get
gun.
on it, and Trent's gonna get it. And there's just enough time for Trent to make the clutch happen. 11-9 guard pull it off.
This might have just given the guard the path at least to overtime, but oh my goodness, Trent pulls the guard even more into the lead. Biggest lead so far in this game so far.
G2 have been here before. 12-7 on split. 5 rounds in a row, and they've won that map out. Now it could be the same here.
What is this, mid?
Must win round. What a spam as well. Trent has just been cooking in the lab with these wall bangs. They're not crazy, but he's got them down to a T on this over. So not something that we saw all that often last year from him. But here he's mastered the Odin.
This position. Oh! Oxy coming up on Cat. Jonah P's position. It is unknown, but should be banged out. Whippy takes him down. Valen looking to stay in his ground, but it just does not happen. G2 with a 2-man advantage. Make it a 3-man advantage. Spray in from Tex. Tex thinks he's Trent.
Oh, hold on. The lockdown's going to catch at least one, so does Tex go for this? Yeah, he's on the one player to 10. I was like, bro, maybe I do. It's not going to happen. G2, very explosive, catching Trent mid-spray. And I think that's what G2 kind of need to do a little bit more is, I mean, that's what they're good at, right? It's just these quick pops, contact plays. When the contact's made, you get a kill and you instantly get into sight. G2 did that here. And G2 need to do it again. Tex holds onto the op. He'll have a bye moving forward, and so will the rest of his team. It's buys for both sides for the rest of this map. It's 2 rounds separating guard and M80 right now. And it's 3 rounds separating G2 to again playing spoiler to what seems to be the faded rematch. But G2 only faced one team from the other side, the other group, and that's the guard here today. Can they make it 2? And will they both be the top dogs? We'll find out here because they have still so much work to do.
G2 are going to face some minor adversity. Back over towards that mid-side. Tex might get up some decent information early on, but doesn't actually go for the big swing back over in mid. Instead, the guard still have knife. I don't exactly know if it already got used. No contact whatsoever. With Jonah P backing away, the null command can't have its reaction.
They start to pivot back over to the B site. Happer again, that backdoor exit. I don't know what is cooking up here, man.
What
They
is
drop the spike,
happening?
and I was thinking for a second, oh, they dropped the spike so they hear the noise, but no, they go back towards A. The spike leans there. Oh my god, I hate this.
It's just the
It's
guard
'cause
is
they're
not doing
trying-
anything, right?
They're trying to fake here.
G2's in their own heads.
I'm glad a third person comes over here to the A side. I thought it was going to be a 2-player hit towards A. There's still 3 here waiting from the guard. But Tex is kind of this immovable object. I expect him to stay here. And Jonah P will be here for the retake as well with his null command. And then, the timing on that knife is phenomenal.
No
Text for
util.
players.
No smokes to cross, and they have someone, Cat. They're gonna have to hold on to Cat, though. 25 seconds left. 2 players trying to cross on. Valen has to do a whole lot here. Valen with 1. Only 1. Still 1 over in heaven. Is Jonah P looking to jump? What is Jonah P doing here? Okay, he does wait. Good patience. He's gonna try to retake with his team. Out he goes. 2 and Jenny. 1 in the back of sight. The players for the guard. The swings are actually working, but Trent left now in a... Oh my goodness, a 1v2. He heard the damage on Dapper, though.
But not enough from Trent. And G2 tied up again. 11-11. We continue to push forward. And G2 have got all the advantages here with their ultimates. Locked down into Hunter's Fury. We're going to see some flurry of ultimates come through in these next couple of rounds, and there's just no way the guard get their lockdown and no command online.
What'd you say about economy?
There's an opportunity, and look at how scrappy the buys. You're right. I thought there was buys galore.
Oh my!
But guard don't have much of it, and they have to make this round costly for G2.
This is
the round between these two teams.
There is no way guard can do anything after this round if they end up going down. This smoke, uncharacteristic though. Covering off tiles. The Owl Drone, however, knowing that it's not a two-way push, that the contact would only be coming from Cat, if anything.
Dapper on this lockdown, and I'm looking for Penny to get this ult orb, and that's what they're getting it. He's got the spike as well. 4 ultimates now for G2. And how do they want to use them? It's a regroup, a hit towards the A site. Guarantee yourself at least series and grand finals advancement point. Cosmic Divide for Whippy's gonna set themselves up. They just want the plant. This is the wall that's just gonna angle it. Oh no, never mind.
Oh wow.
It's a wall that goes all the way.
All the way up to heaven. Oxy's looking for a big pick over. Jonah P slides in. Needing to go for more is Jonah P, but Shazam does take back the trade. No, Trent, you don't swing this, right? No, he's contemplating it.
That's not gonna work. Wallbang's not gonna work there with the Cosmic Divide, and he realized it. Just playing with their food now. Where's the spam? Who goes down? And the lockdown to secure this round as well.
So deep.
And Trent gets caught in it. 2 players get caught in it. That has to be the round.
No way. At least they can save though, right?
They have to try and save it at least. And we go Hunter's Fury for Hunter's Fury in this next round. G2, would you believe it? They're on series point against the guard.
You said what?
Series point here against the guard.
Last round of regulation coming up. This time G2 had double contacts back over towards B main. Mid, however, for the guard, it was at least focused up on in terms of the 1 smoke. They didn't re-aggress it. They let G2 play it like a playground.
And on a mission. Dapper leading his team. Oxy with only a single kill in this second half. Hex at 22. A moment to breathe. Tension so thick. You can cut it with a knife here for the guard. And they know what's at stake here with this next round. They hold on to those 3 weapons. That's their saving grace. So they have a bye in what could be their final round of Split 1. Seeded number 2, heading into the mid-season face-off.
They want that number 1.
Destined to face against number 1 M80. Lost in the upper bracket. Semifinals. Dropped here to the lower bracket finals. And it was G2 that slogged their way through it all. Lost to Oxygen. Had to beat Moist Moguls and FaZe Clan and had a rematch the 3rd time they played Oxygen and they beat them. And now for the first time against the guard, they have a chance to close out this series. And G2, a team that exceeded all expectations, are 1 step away, 1 round away from getting to M80. And it's with an ultimate in Shazam and the confidence of Oxy.
Both smokes already being utilized by Valen.
Very early.
Could be a weird info war here. They want all of it. The guard at least gets something with the Owl Drone. Oh my goodness, Hunter's Theory this early.
And he gets one.
That's all you could ask for.
Looks for something else. Wanted something towards A main. That could be big. That's the first kill the way of the guard. But can they convert? Can they convert in a round like this that matters so much? Can Shazam do the same?
You already know that Hunter's Fury should be good for one in Shazam's hands.
What is this? Text with no up. Text towards Cat.
Are they backing
Text
off of
towards
A?
Heaven. What happens here between the guard? A TP, a good clear, but they see nothing. They see nothing, and is that an illusion? Is that a false hope here for the guard? And it's not. They stick around.
Oh, the knife.
G2, wait. Oxy doesn't break.
They already knew that there was a contact in A main. Now they see a contact over in Cat. G2 are making their way up. Shazam is trying to clear.
There's Dapper as well on this flank as well. He's trying to cut things off. Where do these rotates happen? No,
Dapper,
Oxy
Dapper,
caught in the
Dapper.
open. It's not his round. Dapper, can he cook? Dapper,
He got
can
nothing.
clean? There's nothing there for him, and they're not even into sight yet. Whippy with one big kill.
Only one in the back of sight. Valen. Oh, Spectre does the job it needed to do. Gets one. Spike could be able to go down in the back of sight. Whippy's holding. No flashes against them. Whippy through the wall. Two more players in heaven. Trent trying to go out. Big shot for Whippy. Neat and tidy Dapper. 1v1 versus his clone Net. Here comes Dapper. Needs the headshot. Using the turret as the contact. Knows he's still in heaven. He's looking for the drop. Dapper dancing. Net trying to catch him.
Attackers win.
The guard are nothing for the samurai. G2 are going to grand finals.
Unbelievable. In 2-1 fashion, G2 are playing spoilers to the rivalry of M80 and the guard. An absolute nightmare for the guard here. All the hype built up around this match, it delivered on all fronts, and G2 are the victors, and they have a stake now for the mid-season face-off champions.
G2. I mean, what a roller coaster of emotions and expectations for them in this season so far. Going into the last few weeks, they were almost looking unstoppable. Turtle Troop, however, a team who had just made roster moves 2 weeks beforehand, a team going into playoffs as the 10th or 9th seed, G2 lost to them handily. G2 needed to readjust, needed to rethink their approach, and they still lost to another team in their group. They have bounced back and have somehow made grands.
Outrageous. 2 series going all 3 maps. G2 have played 6 maps today and now have to play a guaranteed 3 tomorrow and a best of 5 against the guard. It's been a marathon of a journey for these guys, Gus, and it is one well deserved. We're not going to hold you guys any longer. We'll be right back after this break with the analyst desk, because this one was amazing.
Spike down A. One enemy. One enemy remains.
Time to die.
One down. One enemy remaining. 3. One enemy remaining. A.
Enemy down.
One enemy
Found. Down.
One enemy remaining. Lap. One enemy remain. One enemy remaining. You dead. One enemy.
What a way to finish off our day, and for G2 to cement themselves a spot in the grand finals, all coming down to that 1v1. Buck, that's one that could have been overtime. That could have gone so many ways, and it's gonna go, we're in the universe for G2. They're gonna be facing off against M80 next.
Look, I'm watching that happen and I'm thinking, surely not again, right? Surely they don't let this game slip away. They have this game right there. Just a few more feet and you're across the finish line. But we kind of talked about it coming into the map. They had a hard time closing out Split, and now they have the same problem pop up here on Ascent. The guard are great in the first 3 quarters of the game. It's that last quarter that they seem to systematically fall apart. And I got to give credit to G2 because G2 will exploit that. They will take advantage of those mistakes. There was also some cheese coming in, Tanner. I mean, let's be fair. The Odin definitely propped him up a little bit there and made it look a little bit easier for a while. But once they found a solution, the guard just didn't have an answer.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again, down but not out. Every single time everybody wants to count out G2, they find a way to get it done. And just like you mentioned, it was the most daunting of tasks because for a few rounds in a row, it was 15, 16, and 17 rounds where Trent is finding kills with Odin spam. And that's not that impressive. It's just Odin spam, sure. But the amount of pressure that Trent had on the B site, I believe it was round 18 where they tried to match back. Dapper was buying an Odin to counter spam at B, but Trent was mixing it up. He was out towards A main making plays with the Odin. He was out towards Catwalk finding spam with the Odin. It wasn't just random spam through B main trying to lock that down. It was that pressure across the entire map that looked so scary for G2, but they dealt with it.
Look, I know that people are going to be going, look at this goofy butt crap with this Odin. Let's not forget, 1, the gun's in the game, so like he has every right to use it. And 2, Dapper did the same thing to Moist yesterday. Looking at their Lotus match, he used the Odin early on. It gave them an advantage. We actually praised him for it because it gave them a bit of a bump up to get the best of their opponent on that map. You do what you can to win, and unfortunately they just couldn't do enough. And I do look at this guard roster and I'm like, man, all of that promise coming into the season, I don't feel like they failed to deliver on that, but I just feel like they didn't quite get to the level we expected, and it was because of the fact that they just consistently fell short. Like the finish line seriously could not have been closer multiple times. They could have 2-0'd. They could have won split. They should have won split. I don't know how they let that one slip away, and this one is almost even more disappointing.
I mean, if you go back to it, they could have beat M80, right? And they let us away. They could be sitting in the grand finals, and this could have been a completely different matchup. I do want to praise G2, however, the B spam pressure was too much to deal with, except for a couple of rounds where tech started popping off. Oxy started popping off. And then the mid pressure also wasn't available. That's what worked really well against Oxygen Esports, is being able to exploit mid, get deep into the spawns. We saw a few of those lurks, but they were just not very well timed. They were a little too disconnected to play. Eventually, it comes down to finding the kink in the armor that was this A site. The defense eventually getting exploited by G2, and they were just able to hit that over and over and over and punish the players there. Obviously, you can't count out the heroism that comes down to it, right? A 2v3 at the end of it all, a 1v1 at the end of it all. It's plays like that you need to see, especially, it felt so poetic that it was Dapper and Net right there at the end. Net, the catch-all for the guard, right? The guy who usually gets it done, lets nothing slip through the cracks, versus Dapper, the player that we hyped up at the beginning of the day.
As well, the guard be the best team in the world, but if you can't close out the match, well then you gotta be giving kudos over to the other squad for being able to do what you couldn't. Great job by both of the teams here. G2 ultimately were the ones that were able to close this out, move on into the grand finals, so the best of congratulations to them. At this point, we're gonna have our post-game review up soon, but here are our post-series highlights and a word from our sponsors.
Sky's out. One enemy remains.
Why the sheets not subscribed to fries? Subscribe to bags of curly and straight fries, redeemable every 2 hours via our app for $9.99 a month.
Remaining.
Ground.
Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Thrifty. One enemy remaining. Who could have predicted? One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down A. enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy.
It's been a long day, a lot of great Valorant, and for the players that have made their way this far, well, I'm sure it's tired, but it's been a lot of fun so far. We're not even gonna waste anyone's time. We're gonna get our interviewee right in. You're gonna be speaking with Dapper after victory. First off, congratulations. I know it's been a long day, and especially this match. This one's been highly anticipated for G2 in the guard. Do you think this lived up to that expectation?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we lost a lot of rounds that we shouldn't have lost, and we won a lot of rounds that we shouldn't have won. So whenever that happens, and it's like a very chaotic game, I'm sure it's fun to watch. But yeah, I'm just really happy we were able to come out on top.
It definitely was a little chaotic, but you're not wrong in the fact that it was fun to watch. Why do you think things turned so chaotic in this matchup?
I mean, honestly, when you have like two really good IGLs like facing off against each other, and then like obviously so much skill on the server, you start like seeing little holes in each other's games, and then you start thinking about, oh, what are they gonna do? And we're just trying to play our game. Our coach Amy was really straightforward with that. Just play our game. We could win, and yeah.
Sweet, and this has been a long day for you because you did have to go up against Oxygen Esports earlier. Specifically from that matchup, I want to talk about Split because historically, this has been such a good look for G2. I mean, this has been your map. And then going up against Oxygen kind of took a little bit of a turn for worse, but then you decide to run it back going up against the guard. Talk to me a little bit about the decision to revisit it and why it was so different from each match we saw.
Yeah, I mean, Oxygen definitely are a really good split team, God are as well, but our split, like we knew it was kind of like our first game on, we usually kind of aren't that great on our first game usually. So we knew it was kind of like, we just read it off and it's like, okay, Oxygen beat us, but we're still a really good split team. And yeah, I think we're just, we don't lose our confidence even if we drop a map in a series.
And then talk about your confidence as well, because you tweeted out after the Oxygen Esports series that you didn't really play up to your usual self, didn't really get to see the standard we would have liked. Now that you got to then do another series against the guard, how are you feeling about your play now? Do you feel better after leaving that series?
Yeah, I feel a little better. Obviously, at the end of the day, all that matters is that we win. Like, that's what I shoot to do. I don't really care. I could go 0-20. If we win, we win. I can't beat myself up too much. I had to do something to contribute. But yeah, in the Oxygen game, I definitely felt off. I picked it up more against the guard, but yeah, you know, a win's a win.
Hey, and you got that last clutch to end it out. So that's all.
Yeah,
that's all good
I don't
and
lose
done.
those.
Oh yeah, like the confidence there. And now, with clutching that one out, you're now in the grand finals. You're now going to be facing up against M80. We haven't seen you play against them before. They've made that upper bracket run. How are you feeling going into this matchup, and what do you think you need to be doing to be making sure that you can win the whole thing?
Like I said before, I think we're just gonna play our game. At the end of the day, M80 is a good team. We're a good team. It's kind of like who shows up on the day. We have a lot of momentum since we just went through a lower bracket run. We pretty much beat, I don't know, 4 teams now going through the lower bracket. So we definitely have a lot of confidence, but it's a BO5. It really tests our map pool and obviously theirs as well. So just gonna get some good sleep and hopefully we'll show up.
Well, I'm not gonna hold you for too much longer, so we're just gonna keep it to one more question, and this is gonna be the one from our fan zone. So for this, how tired were you guys playing for 7 hours straight?
Yeah, it's really exhausting. Me personally, I didn't get great sleep last night, but when I was playing in CS, I used to go through like a whole bunch of like local lands or just like open qualifiers where you literally play, I think like 3 BO3s in a day that are like an hour delay in between. So it's like 12-hour long days of matches. So as bad as playing 2 BO3s in the same day is, you know, we have to make do. We have to win anyway.
Gotta do what you gotta do. But I'll let you go get some rest, because it's gonna be, we're all looking for that 5 maps tomorrow. All right, so best of luck
I got
and
you.
congratulations yet again on today.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. As for us, a great day. Only one left in the mid-season face-off, but we do have to head back to our desk to wrap up today how things were going down. It's been a great day. It's been a fun game, Tanner. Only one more match to figure out who's winning our mid-season face-off.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think that's really all there is to say about it. I know everybody is. I think I just saw a Koala Noob tweet, right? He's never been this excited for a matchup. Got goosebumps thinking about it. I am very, very excited to see more Group A versus Group B tomorrow.
Look, one of the things we were talking about in the green room while we were watching the match, we were talking about the mental exhaustion. And I love that Dapper touched upon it there, because we were saying one of the things that this team is known for is playing like in previous TAC FPS games. And I know Dapper from some of those lands that he's talking about. 12, 14, 16-hour days at these local community lands. And I'm glad he touched upon that, because it builds a level of resiliency when you're looking at these long play days. And I do think that was a potential contributing factor for them to have that extra boost to make it through 2 best-of-3s in a row after a late night last night as well.
Yeah, and having that mental resiliency, that's way too many syllables at this time of night, is going to be important, because tomorrow definitely has the potential to be a long day as well. Best of 5s are no joke, and going up against a team like M80, who's made this upper bracket run, who has been in the talks for one of the best teams, definitely is going to be a face down. But hey, G2, they made their way into the grand finals. They took down another one of the contenders for this top team discussion, and Tanner, I mean, Amber said they'll put on a good show. I'm excited for this.
I am too. I think G2, what they showed today, there were a lot of questions. Obviously, we mentioned all throughout the regular season that Group B was the group of death, and we were all wondering how Group A would face up against, or would match up against Group B. And G2 made a statement today for themselves, being at the top of Group A and playing a team that was at the top of Group B. It wasn't easy. It definitely was not easy, but it was a very long day, so I'm excited to see an explosive M80 bomb squad tomorrow versus this G2 team that is actually well-rested and coming in ready to play 5 maps.
I think it's important to note, too, that matchup against Oxygen ended almost the same way the matchup against Guard did. That's incredibly impressive from them. Both times they were down on the 3rd map in the series. Both times it was Ascent. Both times they turned it around and won 13-11. So I got to give credit to G2 for the ability to stay in the game even when it seems like it's over, because it really did look like the chips were stacking up against them and the run was going to be cut short. But every single time they proved us wrong.
I do want to mention, too, that although Dapper's talking about, having bad sleep, maybe not getting the most sleep last night, Oxy had to go to school today and then come home and do all that after playing late last night, right? So obviously sacrifices need to be made. Dapper said it in that interview that you just have to do it. You have to win no matter what. You can't let the time zones or how much sleep you're getting, be an excuse, because if you don't show up, win or lose, nobody's going to give you that back. If you lost a game and said, well, I didn't get sleep, you still lost the game. That's the end of the discussion. But it is just a lot of adversity tossed at G2, and finally we get to see, like I said, a very well-rested G2 against an M80 that I hope does not hold back tomorrow.
After the fact that they got to be watching these matchups, got to see what G2 did to the team that M80 had to beat to get to that point in the Guard, I don't think any team is going to be counting anyone out or taking anything for granted. So it's going to be a great day tomorrow. Make sure to be tuning in for the grand finals here of our mid-season face-off. Thank you guys for crushing it. Mine and Sully and production, thank you all so much for tuning in. See you tomorrow. Have a safe night.
310. One enemy remaining. standing. One enemy remaining. Clutch. One down. Spike down A. One enemy remaining. 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 Spike down B. One enemy remaining. Thrifty. One enemy remaining. Who could have predicted? One enemy remaining. Clutch. One enemy remaining.
Off your feet!
One enemy remaining. Spike down A. One enemy. One enemy remaining.
Time to die.
Three. One enemy remaining. A.
Down.
One enemy remaining.